Hello everyone, here is my next series of video on ALM tips and tricks for creating the service connection for the Power Platform build tools. So there are two ways of creating the service connection for the Power Platform build tools. One is using the username and password, and the other one is using the service principal, client ID and the client secret. So mainly, so before getting into the demo, I will quickly tell you how we are going to create it. Why we are creating the service connection. So to interact with the Power Platform environment, a connection must be established that enables the various build tool tasks to perform required actions. The actions are like importing the solution, exporting the solution, or setting the solution version to the base solutions. So all those things, it involves the service connections. So this service connection will be able to achieve it via two ways. The first way is using the username and password, and the second way is using the service principal and the client secret. And the first method, it uses the generic service connection and it does not support the multi-factor authentication. Whereas if you are going with the second approach, it will be using the service principal. Service principal is nothing but the tenant ID, and the application ID and the client secret. And this connection type uses the service principal based authentication, and it also supports the multi-factor authentication. This is the recommended the service connection for establishing a connection to the Power Platform environment. Now I will quickly show you system demo on how to create this two types of service connections in the Azure DevOps. So to log into our the Azure DevOps portal, so I'm just logging into dev.azure.com. So it will ask me for a use. Okay, since I have already logged in, so it directly navigated me to the Azure DevOps portal, and this will be the sample project which I will be taking today for our demo. So if you see in the bottom of the screen, you will be able to see the project settings. If you click on that, you will be able to see the service connections. First, I will show you the first method, how to create the generic connection. So if you go here you just need to enter generic, and if you click on search, so yeah, just click this and just enter your instance URL. My instance URL is bispins.crm8.dynamics.com. Once this is done, then you need to provide your username. So I'm just providing my username, bispins.onmicrosoft.com. So next is my password. I'm just updating my password here, and I'm giving the connection name as a build automation source. So this is the connection I'm going to create it. So once this is done, so in the security, you need to make sure that this option is enabled so that it will be available in all the build and release pipelines. So once this is done, just click on save. Then you will be able to see your service connection over here. This is the first way of doing it, and there is the second way of doing it. So if you go here, so here you will be able to see the Power Platform. If you select this, and it will ask you for the tenant ID, the application ID, and the client secret of the application ID. So I will quickly show you how to do this actually. So how you need to get the tenant ID. So if you log in with the admin.microsoft.com, you need to go to the admin centers, Azure Active Directory. Over there, you will be able to see an option called app registration. Then you need to click on the new registration and you need to register your app. So while doing the registration of app, you can just follow the steps. I will put this link in the description of this video, so you can refer it over there. So while creating the registration, so you need to make sure, like, you need to request the API permission, and you need to select the delegated permission and check the user impersonation and select add permission. So over there you will be able to see the dynamic CRM. So you need to add this permission. So once this is done, so successfully your app will be registered. So once the app is registered, then in the navigation panel, select the client and secrets, certificates and the secrets. Below the client secret, choose plus new client secret to create a secret. So once this is done, so you will be able to create a secret, copy that secret and So over here you will be able to get the tenant ID and the application ID. So you need to copy these three details: the client ID. Client ID is nothing but the application ID, the tenant ID, and the client secret. So these three things you need to copy it. Once the above step is done, you need to make sure that you are creating an application user in the CRM. So you navigate to the system users entity. Over there, select it to application users and click on plus button. So it will open the screen. You need to provide the username and the application ID, the full name and the primary email. This four are the mandatory fields. If you fill all those four fields and if you click on save, the application user will be created into the CRM. Before exiting the form, you need to make sure that this application user is having the appropriate system administrator role. Because why we are giving the system administrator role? Because using the service account only, we are going to completely take care of the build solution, import and the export. All this deployment activities will be carried out with this application user. So we need to make sure like this application user is having the appropriate security role. So now going back to our portal. So here I have already copied the tenant ID, the client secret, and so I'm just pasting the tenant ID, and I'm going back to a notepad and I'm copying the application ID. I'm just pasting the application ID. So it's having the extra space. That's the reason it is not showing the error. And I am pasting the client secret. So once this is done, so I will give the name as a build automation destination. Be able to easily figure it out. So once this is done, so you need to make sure, as I said previously, you need to make sure like this option is enabled. So once this is done, so here you need to provide the CRM URL. Sorry, I missed to provide this. So here I will be giving the dispense.crm8.dynamics.com. So once this is done, if you click on save, so your new connection will be created here. So this will be the source connection. This is the first type, the first way of creating the service connection, the generic one, and second one is using the Power Platform one. So once the connection is established, then if you come to the build pipeline, so I will go to the existing pipeline and I will quickly show you the service connection over there. This is my existing pipeline. So if you go to the, okay, here I don't have any component. Okay, here if I go to the Power Platform set solution version, here you will be having a option set for the service connection. Here the authentication type, two ways. The first way is nothing but the generic connection, username and password, and this is no MFA supported. And second way is like service principal or the client secret. It supports the MFA. So the Microsoft always it recommend us to use the MFA authentication. So the recommended approach from Microsoft is to use the service principal and the client secret. So now if you come to the drop down, now here if you refresh the screen, you should be able to see all this connections. So I can see the source here. I can see the source environment here. Similarly, I will add a new task and I will show you. Okay, I got it. So since we have selected this one, so that's the reason it is showing the source connection. So whereas if you select this one, and here you will be able to see the destination connection. So this is the two ways of creating the service connection for the Power Platform build tools. Similarly, I will be coming up with the lots of tricks for the ALM using the Power Platform build tools. So keep watching, guys. Thank you for watching.